Welcome to Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. I am Kat, your host. Ironically, suddenly, as I began this video just now, I got this good feeling. So, we got a lot to talk about. January 2018 is going to be a very big start of the year, a very big part of the year. Because all the readings I'm getting all over, and I'm going to a lot of channels, a lot of very qualified card readers and things like that. You can go to my channel. People to know I have 3 channels. Right now, you'll see this on Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444. Then I have the spiritual channel. I haven't been there for a while. Then I have a 3rd channel that I just deal with it. Because my gifts are what they are because I tend to tell it like it is. And I just know that the universe is true. You have to stay true to really benefit. You don't want to bend what the universe is telling you. If you read John chapter 4, that was something that the Messiah made clear to that woman. You don't want to bend the truth. You want to be a part of the truth. So that's very important to get readings no matter what. The more you learn how to relate back to the universe and truth, the more you're going to see things happen in your life. Just a fact. And if I was wrong, you wouldn't see so many people out here searching, running around and everything because they're still in kind of like confusion. They're still unstable. So they're looking at astrology and horoscopes like it's a love story or something about finance. That's part of it, a small part of it. But the reason why you're looking up for the stars is to find out what your life purpose is. Because the more you bring yourself in harmony with that natal chart and angel card readings, whatever else you're doing, the more in harmony your life is going to become, more in your grip, more in your grasp. That's why the birth of this great Messiah that everybody's celebrating around this time of the year, that's why it started with a star. And then right before he left, he said, look up. Look up, your redemption draws nigh. Look up. So that's why this is important. Not just bubblegum astrology. And that's why you see a lot of people making a lot of money, but you still see a lot of people still searching. And first you have to find yourself within yourself. And then the more you find yourself within yourself, the easier it's going to be for you to find your person. Or the more you can help your twin get on their feet. Because no matter what happens, you two are still going to help each other. Even if it doesn't look that way, it is. I've got confirmation from at least 4 people that the time is now for the so-called re-meeting with my twin. And that's just a re-meeting. It doesn't necessarily mean a great love story, but it just means a re-meeting. So what I want to do is because January has 2 super full moons, not just full moons, 2 super full moons. One is January 2nd, which is a Tuesday, 2018. The other one is January 31st, which is a Wednesday, 2018. And that's a blue full lunar eclipse moon. And then the new moon is on January 17th, Wednesday, according to the information I was given. So you're looking at the full moon for January 31st, which will be a blue lunar eclipse. 5:51 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But we're going to do a lot. We're going to do full moon. So that's why I'll be getting this to the person who requested it earlier. And I'll decide whether I want to make it public or not. Some people will see it either way. Even if I put it unlisted, some people will see it. But I may make it public. I mean, I don't know yet, to be honest with you. And that way she'll have the whole month. So she'll have an idea about what a full moon means. So that way that'll help her for both of those full moons. And then the lunar eclipse and things like that. And she has 5 angel card questions. I do have people here, family from Virginia. So I won't be able to do the angel cards right now. Now they may be going out later on tonight. If I could do it later on tonight, I will. But if not, we'll try to get everything done by early this coming week. All right, and again, I'm just looking at a few things. and then we'll get started. So give me one moment. Alrighty, so now just give me a moment, because I'm going to find this person's sign, their zodiac sign, and put those two charts together. You may already be looking at it, but I haven't done that yet, so I'm going to do that now. And of course, like I said, I don't know what's going on with my family. They're not here, so they may come here. I don't know. So the reason why I'm telling you that is because I may have to stop the recording at any given moment. But like I said, I got a really good feeling just as I got ready to begin this. All right, give me a moment. All right. I believe I have her chart. Yep. I can tell by her 10th house that that's her chart. Alrighty, so what I want to do now is pull this over. Give me a sec. I should have did this first. Okay, we'll do this. But it still works. Very good. Pop it. And take it right over to put it on the desktop, or put it in a folder for Lunar, my Lunar folder. Get out of here, get out of here. Alright. I want to make sure this is a PNG folder. It is, thank you. No, it's looking at hers. Okay. Now it is. Get rid of both of that. Now I want to make sure one is the PNG folder. Properties, has to see PNG. Just for my system to make it into a video, it just works better when it's a PNG folder. I've been learning that, so get rid of that one. Alright, we're almost there. Now we're going to take the two pictures and make it into one. And let's put the lunar. Okay, but remember, this is a lunar read. We'll be bouncing around where we can, but it's really just a lunar read. It's not like an update. It's a lunar read, because that was the offer. So we're going to definitely fully explain a lunar read. All right, but we'll still put them together just in case. Just in case we see anything, we can mention it. All right. All right. Let me see. I'm going to do this. And now I'm going to do this. Alright, so Excuse me. Very good. All right, so now I'm looking at exactly what you are. The chart on the right is a person who requested this. The chart on the left is the lunar eclipse for January 31st, 2018. It'll be a blue moon solar eclipse in the sign of Pisces. So you already know that's a big day. That's going to have a lot to do with psychological emotions, psychic abilities, and Neptune's there as well. So this is going to be a very dreamy day. That's when, see, this, it started in 2018 to the best of my knowledge. It started in 2017 in December. So it's dreamy. That's why this year, you know, people start making New Year resolutions, because they're going to be in a dreamy state. And, you know, people will be doing things that they'll regret later, like jumping into bed, having sex, and all kind of stuff, because they're in a dreamy state. But it's still going to be that way even on January 31st, 2018. It's a dreamy state. So people are going to be feeling good, going to be having kind of dreams, but their intuition is kicking in. Especially if you got, see, she's got Scorpio energy, this female, and they can pick things up. Like, they can almost read people's minds and stuff. Scorpios are highly like that. So that's her career sector. But I'm going to be bouncing around a little bit, and I don't want to go too fast. But I've been doing a lot of these charts because I got a lot of requests for these updates, which is brilliant. But I'm telling you right now, it has a lot to do with your Capricorn energy, and your Capricorn energy rules your 10th house. So your career is there. That's what I'm telling you. Be very careful, especially her, because it's already said stuff about scandal. So that's why I say, even this time of year with the New Year's party, I hope this doesn't get to her too late. But because it is New Year, it's New Year's Eve. So the New Year's Eve party, stuff like that, because people do tend to get a little loose around those Christmas parties, New Year parties. It's like even somebody that never showed you any interest or nothing significant, but something about Christmas parties and New Year's parties where people just really go off. But you got to be careful, because you got that scandal stuff going on in your career sector, and that's what it's about. Now, if you want to know more about it, you can listen to my more recent videos on Archangel Revelations and Prophecies 444, where I go over that. Now, I have one that says Twin Flames Confronting Abuse. So you want to see that one? The date of that is December 30th, December 31st. December 31st, Twin Flames Confronting Abuse. Because I talk all about the whole scandals at the workplace and stuff like that. Another good one is Twin Flames Saturn Love, January 2018. Posted December 29th, 2017. That also deals with having a career affair with an older man, maybe a supervisor, somebody in authority, or even somebody that's married. So these are scandals, and they're going to blow up on you. Just so people know, because people they'll still do it even though people blow up on you. And these things blow up on you, because people don't worry about it unless they think they're going to get caught or caught like this. Well, the universe is saying you definitely get caught. And so you want to be very careful. If it's scandalous, like I say, just look at it like this way: it's your career on the line. Like from a male point of view, it might be this hot female, and she's giving you all this attention at work. But if it's really hot, it shouldn't just be at work. If she's really interested, why is it just at work? So it's an attention thing. But what happens is you give that person your energy, your time, and you'll blow everything. You might get fired. You might get exposed. You might lose that promotion that was coming. You might even lose that position that you have. So that's the type of energy that's going on between December 2017 all the way up until January 31st, 2017. So I wanted to get that out the way, because as you see, the ascendant is in Capricorn. And number 17 has a lot to do with karma, as well as the Magi priest. Because if you remember, Jesus and the Magi priest, So that's a priestly energy as well. So you have to be very careful. And we already, those 2 videos I told you to watch, it's going to tell you about Pluto and Capricorn. This is all about exposing, transforming, power struggles. So this is the type of energy that's going to be there on January 31st. And people who have jobs, and I even got warned, I'm a Leo, because I actually did a reading for a Leo, and I'm a Leo, and they said, watch out for January 31st. They actually warned, said, watch out. Things are going to happen. So whatever's going on, you might be starting a new job, and unfortunately somebody's up in your face talking crazy. So they're letting you know, and that's going to be a Wednesday. And that is well, Tuesday is the day of Mars, and then actually Wednesday is even Mercury's day. Now, why is that important? Now, Mercury can deal with Thoth or Hermes, and he's the trickster. And the person even said it's going to be a tricky day. So that could even be a setup for some people. Somebody might actually set you up, or somebody might have a wrong idea, and they come jumping in your face with all that Pluto energy trying to set you straight. See, my moon sign is Capricorn. You understand? So it's one of those days. And the reading I took was for Leo, but my moon sign is Capricorn. So January 31st is going to be one of those days that anything could almost happen. And you have to, probably have to hold your ground. Not necessarily be disrespectful, but you have to hold your ground anyway. Because it's one of those days. That's just the type of energy. But when you see 17 and 17, they're dealing with a lot of karma. And again, it's funny because it's talking about meeting your twin and stuff like that. But when they said the day will be tricky, they're talking about Hermes. And Hermes is Thoth. And I even tell people to study more about Gabriel. See, whenever you talk about the moon or Cancer, you're going to be talking about Gabriel as well. And this will be a full lunar moon. So that's the Capricorn energy. And remember, Pluto rules Scorpio. So you can even look where your Pluto is. It's at 22, which is the twin flames number. And it's in your 9th house ruled by Sagittarius. But there goes the relationship right there. In your house where Pluto is. So that's why you want to be aware of that day. And Juno just barely misses it. Here's Saturn and Juno, but that's Sagittarius, which we just got finished talking about your 10th house, your 8th house with Libra. Now let's do that again. Your 9th house with Libra. So where your Libra is, it's the 9th house. It's going to be dealing with that Pluto energy. Everything I said about Capricorn and Pluto on the left chart with the ascendant AC, you're going to be dealing with your 9th house. And even some of that stuff going on in the 11th house or in the 12th house over here, which is a house about endings. You see Juno, Juno's about serious relationship. You got Saturn. You're going to be dealing with that too, and your 9th house. So it's a lot of Sagittarius energy as well. And then your Sagittarius energy is in your 11th house of friends, association, and groups. So that's what they're just letting you know. It's just a day that's going to kind of touch on careers because Pluto energy rules Scorpio. Could be co-workers, but it just says friends, association, and groups. So that's the 11th house. But also 9th house of Sagittarius or mature energy. And you have Libra there. So that may be a day you do connect with your twin one way or another. And it could be in the dream state. So if you believe in dreams, you could have your dream pin ready. If you believe in writing your dreams down and they have met, if you believe that, have your journal, have your dream journal. Because that's going to be going on. And remember, I'm only covering right now the January 31st full moon, supermoon, but it's 2 supermoons. The other one's coming on in less than 2 days, January 2nd. So they're letting you know it's going to be dreams and things like that. And you may even, because on one reading, you could tell Uranus means anything could happen, especially a Uranus retrograde. So anything could happen, where either new love or some love or love pops out. But what they're cautioning people is be careful. Don't mess up your career or reputation because of it. Because that's why people don't understand that happens all the time. You know, I'm speaking from a male point of view because I'm a male. But you may have a female at your job that's definitely sending those signals out. And you and her get caught in the back or something. Or she's all hot and heavy. But she might hear footsteps. And then she starts screaming. And you're like, what is she screaming for? And next thing she's accusing you of something that's not true. And that's going to be your word against hers. Oh, I was just walking back here and he pulled me back here. But before she heard the footsteps, she was the one initiating it. That's scandal. But that's what these kind of readings are talking about. Scandals. Expose. Careers on the line. Reputations on the line. Pluto bringing stuff out that was hidden. So now, yeah, because we're beginning the year. So now the sun will be in Aquarius. In the second house of finances and possessions and value systems. So again, it's a new year. Maybe they want to fix up something, or they want to use technology to help, or they want to help out other people because it's a new year. And you know, people make resolutions, and that's where some of their resources will be going to. Third house is Gemini, which is the mind and thought. So it's going to be dreams going crazy, but these dreams help heal you. And that moon, that full moon, will be in the third house of communications, younger education, siblings, even younger people, small travel. Palace can represent social issues or helping a person see patterns. 10 is that number that goes 22 again. So again, relationship healing, even healing where, because usually when twin flames separate, it's because one or both of them are working off Gemini or emotional energy, because Gemini is a twin. But it's the emotional stage, the separation stage. But you start seeing your twin in your dreams and all of that. And she said January 31st will be a tricky day. The tricky day is Thoth, is Hermes, and he relates to Mercury, the communicator, or Gemini. But Thoth also relates to Scorpio. So we are going to be telling you what a full moon means and stuff like that as well. And a lunar mean and a blue. We're going to do all that. Now, fourth day is aggressive. Oh, and see, love is also in the third house. So yeah, so it's going to be a lot of love up until January 31st. Especially, people are that way anyway with a full moon. But you got Neptune, you got Venus. So you got all kind of stuff. Because that's why sometimes when somebody's just staring at you at their job or something, it's because they've been dreaming about you and stuff. Just how the universe works, or you know. So it's going to be a lot of not just tricky situations, but unique situations. You know, you may have not seen your twin in a while, and all of a sudden you just bump into them. Or if you two talk, they might just call you out the blue, or you might call them, but it's really that type of day. And that love is just going to be in the air. There's nothing you're going to do about it. That full moon, blue full moon, love is going to be in the air. A lot of stuff going on. Fourth house, war zone. Uranus, anything that happened, Mars, somebody flying off the handle with Aries energy. So be very careful of that day. And your Aries is in your communication sector, the third house, so you have to be careful. Now, this energy can also be used for creativity, because that's the third house as well. But it can be used for creativity and innovating, maybe making some changes. And Kira's kind of implies it's going to be a healing day, a nurturing day. Because sometimes an argument, it may, you know, be hurtful words, but it may help improve things. But it is going to be that type of day. And that's education, teenage education, adult education, land and property. The heart, got to watch your heart on that day. Because you have a heart attack, heart trouble, stroke. Vehicles and transportation. Imom, Kwali, mother in your subconscious, family and ancestors. So all these things on that day, January 31st, 2018. And that full moon is 5:51 a.m. Fifth house is Taurus, but it's nothing there. But you have to be you have to be careful of Taurus in the fifth house, because highly sensual. And the 5th house is all about fun. But Taurus will spend money without thinking in the 5th house. So you have to be careful of that. Could be some stubborn stuff going on, or I got to be careful of bullying as well. Then 6th house is Gemini. Gemini is in the 6th house primarily because the 6th house is trying to heal. Health, service, home, daily activities, small children, small animals. So this is going on, but it's trying to heal that Gemini energy because the Gemini energy can be kind of immature. Short term. All right, I'm going to pause this for a moment and I'll be back. So that's going to be a great day. January 31st, 2018 is going to be a great day for a lot of activity in the home and the career sector. Now, I want to do something a little bit differently because I'm noticing AC and EP are in 2 different houses. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. So because this isn't a natal chart, it's really just a space chart. So yeah, it's still going to be a big day, but that AC is really in the 12th house, which is about well, it is about finding things out. I already said that. I counted that anyway. But the first house would actually be, so we're gonna do this. The first house would actually be Aquarius, but it's still the same thing. Like I said, a transit house, a transit chart, which is what this is. I call it a space chart. But a natal chart, it would matter more because it's more personal. But it's still gonna be wanting to help out the community and enlightenment, maybe new technologies or new things coming out. Then the second house is more Pisces. But I would still go with what I said earlier. It's just that I know. You know? It's just that a little bit more concern would be for maybe spiritual issues or helping the poor and things like that. But it's still gonna be a big love day. Anybody knows how full moons affect people anyway. But this is gonna really be significant, you know. So it's a day if a person remembers, this is a day to really watch how you respond because it's gonna be real upfront, whether it's with the family or somebody you work with. And I like how the universe has Juno getting ready to leave that 11th house to go into the 12th house. But it just didn't make it. But it's almost on the border because Juno's about all serious relationships. So it really is a unique day. It really will be a unique day. 1, 2, 3, 4. So okay, so in the 4th house it'll be Taurus. Now your 4th house has Taurus in it too. But Taurus, the unique thing about Taurus, especially in the 4th house, is Taurus can change things just by walking in a room. And Taurus has a power to, whether they talk or don't talk, but people around them start wanting to appease them. So they say if the people were saying we're going to do it this way, but a Taurus walks in a room on the 4th house, they'll do it the Taurus's way. So since that is your sun sign and it's in your 4th house, you can kind of expect that. It's kind of like things are going to kind of go your way, but that's in the family sector though. That's in the 4th house. So just because things are going your way in the 4th house doesn't mean it's going to be that way at the career sector. So you still got to be careful. And at the same time, it's still going to be a lot of full moon energy, a lot of Aries energy and stuff. Because even the communication sector is still siblings, brothers and sisters, or surroundings, which could be family. So it could still be the fourth sector. That's why I said the way the chart is done, especially a space chart, is different, a little bit different than a natal chart. The chart on the right is a natal chart. The chart on the left is a space chart or a transits chart. Fifth house again, Gemini. So highly creative for Leos, because Leo rules the fifth house. So that January 35th, if Leo likes to write, or sometimes like I freestyle, that is going to be a great day for creativity, because Gemini and Leo are a lot alike. Their houses are, and it's going to be highly creativity. And Leo might even do some traveling, short distance, not too far from home type traveling. Seventh house, relationships, family. Could be some type of partnership. And so your true north node is Leo as well. So that fifth house will affect you. Whatever I just said about the fifth house in Gemini, that'll affect you because your true north node is Leo. And in the seventh house. So yeah, so you can definitely expect some communication. Definitely. They may directly call you, or you may even call. But whatever happens, whoever calls who, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Whoever calls who is going to be kind of favorable. I'm just letting you know that. Because what happens, somebody says, well, he said that the guy was going to call me or whatever. And you'll sit there and wait forever. What it's trying to really say is it'll be a favorable conversation despite who calls who. Not saying it's going to be all extremely great, but it'll be favorable. Like better than before or whatever. And that could be a start to anything. And that's why when you know these things and you take notes, as you get closer, you could just get a reading from whoever, wherever, or if you got your own card deck, just take a reading or whatever. But I'm just saying it would be somewhat of a favorable day on that day because of the energy. All right, so family, and it'll even be family, and it'll be a family-minded day on that day. Family-minded, family relationships. Vesta retrograde. Let's see if I can find that really quick. Just give me a moment. Alright, I found it. Because I'm really interested in Vesta retrograde. Vesta retrograde tries to make a person relax and just, what they said, find their center. Whatever grounds you. But I'm not done yet. I want to find a little bit more. Alright, so this is good. Okay, I'm going to copy it. I don't know why I didn't do that before. I'm going to copy this whole page. Just give me a moment. I'm going to copy this on there. And then it's another website. I just didn't copy the information, but now I want to copy the information. And this is a little bit more difficult. So give me a second. I want to do that too. I'll do retrograde. Find. So Vesta retrograde can mean sexual repression, fears, or the inability to share oneself with others or maintain close relationships. Similar challenges at expressing these categories could result if she's retrograde. So it's still going to be somewhat of family relationships, but sometimes your family can be somebody you were dating or somebody you wanted to be family with. But it's still going to be favorable for Taurus. But just like anything else, it's how you present yourself. Because if you present yourself aggressively, you'll probably get an aggressive response back. But other way, it is your day. That day, like I don't know if you usually win like family arguments or whatever, but it's kind of going to be in your favor that day. All right. And again, family part. See, the 7th day is all about contracts and partnerships and stuff like that. Vesta represents honor, duty, sacrifice for a cause, influences the home and one's ethics. Yeah, keep forgetting that. Now let me see where Vesta is again, because that's very important. See, it's dealing with work again. See, the 6th house deals with work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. See, this chart is a little difficult because of the way they did it, but they did it for a reason. That's why I said this is a lot about energy. Because the way they did it, where AC is, that could almost be your 1st house, but they want to count it as 12. So that's why I said you got to, when you do the chart on the left, you're really dealing with energy. So even though Vesta retrograde is in the 6th house, you can kind of deal with it in the 7th house because of the way they did the chart. Now, the number 17 is also the priest, the Magi priest, and Vesta is a priestess. So it's a lot of stuff going on with that priest Saturn or priest Capricorn energy. Now you could take that any way you want, but it could just, like I said, we like to view work as just work, but work is usually just not work. It just depends on how strict they are with the policies. But there can be spiritual stuff going on at work too, because you might be being tempted, and you have to fight against it if you have certain beliefs. So that's where Vesta comes in. Because Vesta is going to try to keep you in a straight and narrow, especially when she's dealing with the family. Because Vesta is a lot like Virgo. And this is the 6th house of Virgo. So we got to keep all these things in mind. Because it seems like it's going to be like a lot of so-called tests in the career and home sector. And remember, Cancer opposes Capricorn. But Capricorn is a work sector. And if you look at this chart to the left, Capricorn is opposing Cancer. You see what I'm saying? So somebody somewhere is doing that. And what happens? I'm going to try to explain this, but in metaphysics, all that means something that we don't fully understand. Like the Bible tells you, a lot of times we do things and we become a theater to the angels. See, they understand, the angels understand the metaphysical reasons why we do what we do, but we don't. Not subconsciously, we might. But there's something going on between the family, the home, and the career. It's like Cancer versus Capricorn. And it's almost like the priests that are telling you to be more spiritual, more home-minded, is battling Capricorn or Saturn or Satan, who tells your car to get rear, tells your car to go to the rear, career. So he says, we don't want to hear about your soul. We don't want to hear about your spirit. Get to the rear, career. But Ka is your spirit or your soul. And that's where Vesta comes in, and that's where the number 17 comes in. Just like if you study your Bible, the Magi priests, number 17, they were coming to find the baby Jesus based on that star. But the dude that represented Saturn, or you work for me, you follow my laws, he wanted the baby dead. And he would have killed the priest too if he had to. He tried to lie to the priest. So you see this on this chart. It's a battle between that family life and the spirituality, or that career that's saying forget all that and you do what I tell you to do. It's a power struggle. And that's what Pluto and Capricorn mean. So this is going to be a big day. A big day. But there is relationship there too. Now we're still dealing with Vesta retrograde. So Vesta retrograde reflects on a time on the way we serve others. And that is the house of service, your 6th house, ruled by Virgo. But it's your family. And just like they said, a cause or a belief, just like I just said, in addition to our sense of honor, pride, and sacrifice. So Vesta is saying, well, why are you serving? Are you serving for selfish reasons? Are you serving to benefit yourself or pleasure? Or are you being unselfish? Or are you serving way too much? So they're kind of telling you, for the Taurus, it's kind of a good day to speak up for yourself, but just watch how you speak, because it's going to be a volatile day. And sometimes some of the most intense arguments or whatever started off with really very few words. The person might not even been trying to start an argument, but they said something, somebody said something. Because that happened to me this morning. Somebody comes calling me before 9 a.m. Now keep in mind, this is a holiday. I got family here. But I picked up the phone because I know there's certain things I got to take care of. So I tried to tell a person what the situation was, but they were basically trying to push on me. Oh, this is how you really need to handle the situation. And I basically said, no, I'm not going to handle it that way. I'm going to handle it this way. It's going to get handled, but I'm going to handle it this way. So they were still trying to push that on, and I don't know. Anytime you knock on somebody's door or call somebody's house, you got to remember you're calling them, especially if you're calling before 9 o'clock in the morning, because you could almost get in trouble for that. So that person does have a right to kind of let you know, hey, I got some things going on, So they didn't like that. So they tried to out-talk me. And I was like, you're not going to out-talk me because I just told you it's not going down the way you said it is. And number two, I'm busy. I got things to do. And whatever you're getting ready to say, I got your number. I know how to call. I've been calling you, so it's not like I'm ducking you. You're going to have to wait. So they more or less still try to keep talking even while I was talking. But I used to do what they did. So this is what I said to that person. I said, listen, I used to do what you did. You told me this phone call is recorded. So you should know the phone call is being recorded. I said it right now. You're being very unprofessional. I said, I used to do what you did, and I know they listen to phone calls. And you're rude, and you're being very So I told him again and said what I had to say, and then I just said, and goodbye. But I was very polite and hung up on him. So you have to remember, that's why the way I teach, it puts you in power, because you stay in power. And your power, only you give it up. But that doesn't mean you go around arguing with everybody. But that particular person was just obnoxious. And they would just get mad because they were trying to push something on me that I wasn't accepting. So that's why retrograde Vesta is asking that question, why am I doing this? Is it genuine responsibility? Am I doing too much service, too much work, giving too much? Is it an obligation? In other words, you may need to re-talk with the family on your service, because that's what the 6th house is. Health, home, service, daily activities, small children, small animals. So Vesta retrograde in Cancer. Just a moment. It supports travel and escape that may have a higher mission or purpose. Visiting ancestral lands or people, or your ancestral family, they should say that, spiritual and or religious sites or places that feel like a home away from home, are likely to be encouraged. So anything that has to do with family and ancestors is going to be a really good day. And see, that's a full moon. The full moon is all about the soul, just so you know that. Well, you can look it up on YouTube. Moon reincarnation, lunar reincarnation. It says when a person dies, their soul gets sucked up to the moon, wiped clean of its memory, and sent back down in another body for reincarnation. So this stuff will be going on. And that's why I said you have to understand who Cancer connects to Gabriel, the Archangel. And Thoth connects to Gemini and Mercury communications. And Hermes is Thoth. And Thoth was also connected to Scorpio. So that's the type of day you're having in the metaphysical world. So that's why I started off with 7. This is all about karma and ancestors and the Magi priesthood. And that's why I said a lot of times when people don't have that metaphysics, or they just want bubblegum astrology, they don't know what the heck's going on. But a lot of times stuff you're going on at your career and in your family has a direct relationship to where you really come from, to the spirit realm, to the so-called gods and goddesses, and even angels. And that's why you see a lot of Scorpio, a lot of Pluto. This is the 8th house, which is called the underworld. And you really need to know this stuff, because it's going to have a determining factor on your life. It's not spookism. It's not something to be afraid of. This is something you can use to actually strengthen yourself. So that's another reason why you want to make sure you're avoiding scandal around this time. It's not going to be worth it, because you're going to be found out, because there's a war going on between the Magi priest, the spiritual aspect of all of this, the priest, Vesta, and the number 17, and the Capricorn Saturn side of this. And if you want to know more about it, I already told you on my channel for the last 3 days. That's all I've been doing space charts, because people have been requesting them, and you're hearing the same underlying theme. Be careful. And you're even being warned, like on January 31st, you might actually get accused of something you didn't do because of this energy. So you have to be ready to respond to basically accusations that are not necessarily true. So again, this is why you do astrology. This is why you get your charts updated, because it's worth it. Because if we like to drink, if we like happy hour, we don't have no problem spending money on happy hour, right? Like to smoke cigarettes, though. I need a whole box. I like to smoke. I don't want to buy just one box. Buy me the whole pack. Buy the whole box. So we like chocolate. Oh, I love chocolate. Give me 3 boxes. You understand? But then something that really matters. And I'm sitting here looking at you like, yo, this is way more important than what you weren't. You weren't about silly stuff. When I say yo, I'm talking about anybody. So make sure you're getting your stuff taken care of. However you do it. Because I've given you all the ways you can do it. But you want to stay up on your horoscope. You want to stay up on your astrology. Because this is the real deal. Just like I said, when you know astrology, you know certain things. They say, be careful. So you might be riding and you might see somebody on the side of the road. And you might say, oh, I'll stop. You say, oh, it's a woman. She looks innocent. Oh, let me help her. But you may have been told by astrology that today's not a good day to do some stuff like that. Because that woman might be there, but it might be somebody stooping down in the truck, in the back of the seat, or that might be a person waiting in the trunk. So she says, oh, wait a minute, let me get my tool out the trunk. And you're like, okay, no problem. And that trunk opened up and somebody got you. Now your ass is in the trunk, tied up and gagged up and your mouth all taped up. This stuff happens in real life. See, astrology warns you. This is like your angels talking, spirit talking. It's that important. That important. All right, now the universe for Leo in the 7th house. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's going to be a day for relationships, guaranteed. And that's what now let's see where. And that 7th house is ruled by Libra. And see, your Libra has that Juno, even though it's retrograde, but you have that Juno and things too. So it's still going to be a relationship day for you one way or another. That's why I said, if somebody tells you, if you talk to somebody, it'll probably be favorable on that day. You don't have to wait for that person to call you if you have their number. You might just say, I just called to say hi. Let's say you call and you get the answer machine. You say, oh, I just called. Because a typical woman says, oh, I'm not going to leave a message. But see, you guys have to be smarter than that. That's why I say a lot of women play hard to get, and then you don't get got, and then you mad at the guy. But the guy was trying to get you, but you played hard to get, and you didn't get got, and now you're mad at the guy. How about you flip it around and be mad at yourself? See, time to grow up. That's why I'm here. Big brother. My sister's been married now going to 15 years. My sister's here right now. In fact, when my sister came, I got an email from her friend. Hey, do you know anything about Pisces? And I didn't say, I said, yeah. I said, well, I'm not talking about it because I don't talk about my family. I'm very protective of my family. So it's certain, like I'll let certain people do readings or whatever, but it just depends. But I'm very protective, so I don't talk about it. And I didn't even read it. I just took her email and put it in the to view later. Like when my sister gets all the way back to Virginia and safe and sound, then I'll probably read it. But then I went to Quiet Revolution, and again, it was about Pisces again. So it is what it is. Now, I gave you all a few readers that are really good. And you should see them like cause I had some of them I was public on my other channel, but then I made some of them unlisted. But if you're subscribed, you can see it anyway. You should still have been able to see it. But I gave you all these 3 readers on my channel, and all 3 of them were extremely good. And they basically said the same thing on the message. And one person, in all due respect, I listened to hers for about 30 minutes. So I didn't listen to her whole reading. But she was in tune with what they were saying. But I was dead tired, and I had kind of heard it. So, you know, it's like you heard it before, so you kind of ain't really listening, and you're trying to go to bed. But she is pretty good, too. And that's what you want, though. You want people like me to just keep going. Like, they'll keep asking for clarity if they do your reading, if they don't get it, and they're giving you specifics. Now, if you listen to how I did this reading, it's very specific. Now it's up to her to realize, wow, this could be a good day, or it could be the start of a good time for a relationship. So what I'm saying, when you call, let's say you get the answer machine, instead of just hanging up, still acting like you're in 7th grade, how about you say, hi, I just want to say hi. If you haven't said Happy New Year, you can say it then. But if you've already said it, oh, I just called to say hi. That's okay, talk to you later. And you don't realize that you're right. A guy might say, initially, man, she's always calling. Or he might say, man, I told her last year, or whatever. But it's a whole new year, and all we're hearing is new. He might say, you know what, she's always calling, and maybe I didn't fully appreciate it. Because he's also being affected by his dreams, and Neptune and the dreams, and Pisces, and all this stuff we've been talking about. You understand? And Venus is down there too. And Venus is really in the communication sector. At first I said family, but that's because of the way this count is. But it's in the communication sector. So you got Venus there. And I think, are they together? Let me do that one more time. Because it's so close to Mars for a second. But Venus is still in there with Neptune and Pisces, which is that dreams and sometimes idealism. And so people feel differently. And it's not too far from Aries, from Mars, even though Mars is in the 3rd house. And sometimes Mars and Venus work together. It just depends on the energy. Sometimes it can be passive aggressive. Sometimes it could be male female. Sometimes it could actually be intensity. Like, I really want this to happen, because don't forget Mars rules Aries too. So you gotta start somewhere. The best thing you can do as a female, if a guy shows you some interest, if you're interested, is show something back. But if you keep playing hard to get, he doesn't know. And he thinks you're not interested. And he starts to move away. Then he'll start to talk to another female. And now you're pissed the fuck off. You got to stop playing them little kitty ass games. Then you're online. Oh, what about love? Where's my twin? Oh, yeah, grow up. That's where your twin is. In grow up land. Grow up. Your twin is trying to connect with you. Been trying to connect with you. That's what I'm talking about. I know I was. You're the one with all these little games. Now all these readers, all these card readers, at least 3 or 4 different card readers are saying, oh, now she wants to come back. Oh, now she feels like she's gonna lose you. Now she's talking. And they all said it. She's saying, let's forget about the past. Let's act like that never happened, and let's start over. And I'm like, how dare you? How dare you break my heart and gonna say let's forget about the past and stuff? And I was like, nah, I don't think so. And then when I went outside, I saw some stuff in the it was from the, I didn't know where it was. I checked it online, and it was from the Gemini constellation, the twins. So then I knew that was the universe saying talk to her. So I said, all right, I'll do it. So that's why you got to be keeping up on those channels. A lot of stuff I post, it might be out there, and a lot of stuff I don't. Remember, you want to be paying attention to whatever is helping you, because you might, like, let's say you like to watch soap operas, but is that helping you? I mean, it might make you feel good, but then you get a VCR or something, like, tape it. Look at that later. But stuff that's really going to help you move ahead, make sure you make that a priority. Because a channel like mine, I do certain things for a reason. Because I keep people on their toes. So it's not like I'm going to drop a video and leave it there forever. Like I drop it for a certain amount of time, either you saw it or you didn't. But if you're subscribed and you got it, then you can get it through unlisted. But if not, you may not see it. But since the last 2 weeks, powerful readings. Powerful readings. Now, for the person on the right, you have a lot of retrogrades, and I know I went over all of them with you, so I hope you took your notes, and I hope you know what to be working on. But this is actually a good time. Because when you don't work on your retrogrades, what happens is you're going to be slowing down and blocking the newer energy. Because the newer energy is saying, hey, it's time. Hey there, Leo. Time for a relationship. It's going to happen. And ironically, that true north node is so close to Leo that it could even be because your true north node is Leo. So they're trying to tell you, and plus you see the vertex, and then over here you got the vertex. They just reversed it. So somebody else is telling you something. Now on the chart, on your chart, it's saying, hey, your true north node is Leo, but you're going to meet somebody of that Scorpio Virgo energy. Now on this chart, it's saying, hey, your vertex is Leo in a relationship sector, but the true north node is all about healing and health and service. So this is a great time too, if you got your twins number. And it might even be better that they don't pick up if they call. But even if you do, you could just say, well, I just want to say hi. And if you haven't said it yet, then just say Happy New Year. Because that's the best way to do it. See, that's how you use that. Because Scorpios have a lot of wisdom. They can be very manipulative. And her medium Coeli is Scorpio, but I recently found out that the medium Coeli also deals with your true life purpose. So you gotta know how to use it. Well, right now we did the 7th house, 8th house, all about healing. We all know what's in the 8th house. I'm not reading all that because I went over that very lengthy with her before, very lengthy. But anything in the 8th house, but Virgo's about health and service and family and healing and home. So all that's going on. So this is about soul families, but also work, because it says daily activities or co-workers or subordinates. Because you might be a manager, which means if you're a manager, you have subordinates because you're actually representing your employer over them. So when they think of their employer, they kind of think of you because you're their immediate supervisor. 9th house, again, maturity. Libra and Sagittarius. Libra and Sagittarius. Maturity. And your Libra is in Sagittarius. See? Both of y'all Libras is in Sagittarius. So that's maturity. So this is an excellent time for relationships. But sometimes it's just a start. That's why I said you might call and leave a message and you feel like, well, he didn't pick up, and maybe he didn't. Maybe he was sitting right there. He just didn't pick up the phone or whatever. But he hears your voice and it's just working on it. And it's been working on him. If this is a twin soul thing, it could be a soulmate thing because you're dealing with the vertex. But that could also be twin soul. Or it could just be somebody. But what I'm saying is in your favor right now. So for the Taurus right now, the universe is kind of in your favor. And I'm saying that because the Taurus was in the 4th house. So it's a good time. And don't forget, Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus and Libra. Venus rules Taurus and Libra. So you want to remember that. And you got Jupiter's gonna bless that Libra in the 9th house. See, this is why you want to work on your auras. Because when you look over here, you see the 9th house with Jupiter. He wants to bless you with money and expansion and good fortune. But when you look in your house, you got those auras. So that's why you want to work on them. That's why anybody acting like they don't know what to do, I told you what to do. The archangels tell you what to do. You sit down, you make goals. And again, nobody's going to be perfect. But at least you're aware of it. And that way, if you start to see something going a certain way, you can catch yourself. Because if I wake up in a horrible mood on that Wednesday, hopefully something will remind me it's July 31st. So you got to be careful because you may have all kind of shots coming your way from career, from family, or possibly from the home. Be careful. But it's also July 31st, especially for Leos. This is a great day. Because remember, Taurus is in the 5th house. Is it not? Let me count it again. At least yours is. But let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, on this chart, it's in the 4th house. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's in the 4th house. Taurus is in the 4th house. But it's still a great day for Taurus, but then even the Gemini is in the 5th house. And I'm still going to say it's a great day for Leo, because Leo rules the 5th house. All right. Now, so now the career sector, which everybody's talking about, the cat could rule by Capricorn. And Lilith is there, but she's just about leaving. It's funny how both the asteroids that can deal with relationships, both the feminine asteroids that can deal with relationships, they're both leaving a house going into another house almost. So so that could be new beginnings, endings and new beginnings. 11th house of friends, association, and groups. Once again, Saturn and Sagittarius. And Juno is showing that it could be a possible serious relationship. It could be the start of a serious relationship. So we gave you the dangers, warnings, and we gave you the possibilities. But when you add them up, they actually look good. Especially for relationships. And families might even be able to work through some differences. So what we do want to look at now is... let's just do this. Don't want to make this too Juno conjunct. A Saturn conjunct Juno means this person is getting serious about being serious, especially when it comes to a relationship. And they're doing it, in the friendship sector, or that could be co-workers, friends, association, groups, but they're moving it right into the house of endings. And let's get, like if somebody says, I really want to be in a serious relationship, well, they're really pushing for that. See, it's a great time for relationships. Now, Saturn in Sagittarius. All right, we're gonna do always astrology. We'll read it. I'll be right back. Okay, so what we're gonna do now, we're almost done. We just gotta read the part about Saturn. What we're gonna do though, we're gonna keep following that theme because that's power for the relationship theme. So we're not gonna do all the explain what a lunar is, because we spent a lot of time on this. Plus, I did both charts because it's really just supposed to be about the lunar. That was the offer. So we did both charts. So she got like an update, which is cool. But we're going to do that, and then we're going to do the angel cards because it's just more in theme of what the space is saying. The space is saying this is a great time to connect with either new love or a former love. But what I'm saying, sometimes you have to make that first call. All that waiting around and playing hard to get. Somebody has to make that move. See, my twin was just a jerk. It's just it's like you see one good twin, one evil twin. Well, she was the evil twin, and that's how she went. She wanted to play games the whole time, and then they're upset when you get with somebody else. So this is just silly stuff people do, and that tends to be a feminine. Not all females, but some of y'all do that. The best thing I can tell you is stop doing that stuff. See, my sister's still married 15 years because she learned from me. If you want something, just like anything else, you know not to do that when you have a job. You don't play with your boss. You don't go on the interview and play hard to get. You don't say after the interview, you don't go, well, I should send a thank you note for the interview. But I'll wait. He should send it to me. He should thank me. It's silly. It doesn't even make any sense. That's something a little kid would do. And some guys really like you, but you push him away, and then you're mad at the guy. But you did that. That's not his fault. So you gotta grow up. So it's a great time for reconnection and things like that based on what we're saying. That's why it's better to you, instead of explaining to you a lunar eclipse, because you've listened to my show, so you've probably heard it before. but you need more information on what's actually going to happen on it, because I can tell you what days to look out for. Hopefully, if it's up, we can tell you what days to look out for and stuff like that. So that's more beneficial to you. So that's why I'm doing that. All right. So now we're going Saturn and Sagittarius. Give me a moment. But that area is all about seriousness. That keeps coming up. Now, when I want to tell you, see, I usually take words at face value, and that's pretty cool to do when you're dealing with studies. But when you're dealing with people, you still have to be careful, because even though it says serious, and it keeps saying Juno serious, Saturn serious, but you got to be careful, because people sometimes they're fickle. They don't really know what they want. And then other times they feel like you're being too serious. So just wanted to make sure I made that perfectly clear. You got to learn how to use your intuition and feel things out. Because it's just like that. You could meet one person where you two just seem to go further in flirtation and further in just happiness. And you might meet somebody else and they're a little more reserved or whatever. And it's going to take you a while to find out which one you really could have a relationship with. Because the one that's reserved might just got issues that they need to work out first. Or they need to know how to relate to people. Or it might just take them longer to warm up to you. So you got to use intuition and figure these things out. Sagittarius Saturn means to learn to trust. They may be open, honest, or careless, rebellious, and indecisive. Unless they learn to open up, they will continue to suffer. They may need to judge more carefully or learn what is appropriate and what is not. Once they work through their issues, they can become recognized authority in their chosen field or gain distinction in some other way. Physically, Saturn and Sagittarius may suffer difficulties with the muscles, hips, sciatic nerve, and liver. So watch for those things during this time period. Exercise is important to keep flexibility in those areas. So that's what they got in the 11th house with friends and associations. But leading into that, so it's almost like this person is looking for a serious relationship, but they may have some health problems that might even affect their career. Interesting. So that's kind of funny, because Sagittarius is usually the more mature twin flames energy. The higher self is Sagittarius, 9th house. So there might be some health concerns there. Maybe need to get a doctor's appointment. You may need to exercise, but again, so that's funny how being serious in a relationship and may because that 11th house is very mature with Sagittarius there. So Sagittarius, be careful. Saturn or Capricorn, be careful. And that house is ruled by Aries, so you might want to be alert. 12th house is ruled by Pisces. So it's a lot going on. So just be careful. Make sure you're in good health. And again, so you get these readings, and again, like they always tell you, it's a general reading, and you can always go deeper. I never used to say that, but they're right when they say that, because I could even tell you, you could go so deeper with these charts. But just like I said, take your notes, find out what's going on with you, and just find out how to handle it. But this is something that should be primary all the time, because this is your life. Whereas TV and all that other stuff, it's a diversion. It may make you feel good, but that's something you can maybe record and get back to. But stuff that has to do really with your life. Because you're like some people, they have to read the newspaper every day. Because they feel like that's their life, but that's really not your life. That's the life of the world around you. You should be more concerned with what's going on in your life. But yeah, you still need to know your news, because there could be a psycho killer out there. So you do need to know the news and the weather, but you also need your life. Because I honestly believe, like a lot of times the twin flame is hard because people just don't do what they're supposed to. Because it's easy to blame somebody else, or they just don't want to do their part. And it's not going to be easy. It's not, twin flames is not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to help you heal and build. All right. So now that would be the update for the blue lunar full moon, supermoon lunar eclipse, January 31st, 2018. Also, whatever happens on a new moon, which is January 17th, whatever's new at that time, it'll further develop on the 31st. And whenever you're doing this, whenever you're doing these energies, always give it a few days, like maybe 2 days ahead, 2 days in advance. Sometimes it might be even longer than that. See, you don't want to be rigid. Whenever you're dealing with energy, don't be rigid. And you have to understand it's your own intention. That's why I say the last thing you need to do is be miserable. Feel good about yourself. Speak positive affirmations. Like if you're going to be around people, make sure you look presentable. Like all these things matter. All right. All right. Just double checking everything. Now, this is somebody I found the other day. It's called Secret Serenity. And I did it. And something was crazy. And I know this woman. I've known this woman for a while. She's one of the first natal charts I ever did. And I wrote everything out, just like I'm going to do for you. And then I thought I saved it. And when I went to find it, I could not find it worth a dime. So, I'm going to send this over to you right now. And when you get it, you can look around because this is beautiful. You'll love it. Definitely one of my most favorite astrology horoscope sites because she deals with everything. So just get there and look around. All right. Give me a moment. She calls herself the Lunar Princess, and she talks about the sun signs, moon signs. It's very, very informative. So I said I talked about this in your video. Here's your hard copy. Because you always had the hard copy. And you could also have like when they print it. But you have a hard copy. Like usually that's your original. That's what I'm trying to say. And then you'll hear me talking about it. Alright, now we're going in. For sun sign Taurus. So once again, if you ever get your moon sign, you should try to do that by a Hindu website. Your moon sign is Pisces. Because people say this is for your rising sign and your moon sign and your ascendant and blah, blah, blah. But your moon sign should particularly be done by India because they deal with the moon sign. They deal with the divine feminine. But the west side doesn't. The west side deals strictly with the sun. Because your sun sign is not your moon sign, so they shouldn't be read together. Your moon, it should be somebody that does moon sign. Now, if you try it out and it doesn't work, then you could do it. Whatever one resonates. If it works sun sign, But I would always go for, I would find a Hindu website and do my moon sign there, because they deal with the moon sign, but the West doesn't. North America does not deal with your moon sign. They act like it don't exist really, except for some astrologers. But then those astrologers act like it's a sun sign. It's not a sun sign. It's a moon sign. That's like if somebody went to you and said, if you went Burger King and said, hey, listen, I want a Big Mac. So we don't serve Big Macs here, because he's gonna look at you immediately like, you know, this is Burger King. So why are you asking me for a Big Mac? And you say, well, basically it's the same thing. It's not the same thing, ma'am. If you want a Big Mac that bad, ma'am, you can go right across the street. Like, don't come up in here talking crazy. So it's the same thing. Yeah, my moon signs are Pisces, but you can read it with sun sign and rising sign. It's not a sun sign. It's not a rising sign. It's a moon sign. So if you're not doing Hindu astrology, if you're not doing somebody that's doing the moon sign, then let me go to somebody who is. And if somebody says, well, I did go to Hindu, but it never was right. And whenever I do it, well, if it works for you, then go for it. Whatever resonates with you, but you always want to try to do it the way it's supposed to be done. And that's a beautiful Taurus. So when you go there, she's got a beautiful Taurus, and she's got the nerve to have on earrings. And they're not even matching. She's so cool. She got the nerve to have on 2 different earrings. One in her right ear and one in the left ear. But the one in the left ear is different from the one in the right ear. Check her out. And she's a female Taurus just looking at you. She just knows she the shit. She knows it's her time. It's my time to shine. And I'm ready. January 31st, I'm ready. Okay, so this is Secret Serendipity. SecretSerendipity.com. Taurus, January 2018 horoscope. So she lets you know it's a super full moon on January 1st, but it's also one on January 31st. She's saying January 1st. I had January 2nd, but you know, whichever. The new moon will begin for you for a super full moon in Cancer. So full moon in Cancer, and that's again, that is Gabriel's sign. That is also the family sign. So January may be somewhat of a big family month for you as well. January 2018. This should mean some wonderful and exciting news relating people close to you, particularly your family. Be a little extra careful regarding this full moon, January 1st or 2nd, 2018, because Venus is in Capricorn, which for this full moon means that you might have some tendency to become a little introverted. So my moon sign is Capricorn. My true north node is Cancer. So this is going to be a unique month for me as well. January 2018. Okay, now she's going to give you a meditation if you want it. You could say the meditation. That's totally up to you, because I just emailed it to you. And you can even go to the website if you want to see like the website. I gave you the link, so you can click the link and go to the website. She's letting you know that every end becomes a new beginning. Take a moment to decide how you wish your new year to unfold. You can reinvent yourself. She said you can hold on to your memories, but you have to let go of the past. And she's giving you some other great advice. I strongly advise you to read it. And again, I sent you the whole thing in your email, but you also have the link you could actually click, because you're going to have to come to the website as well, because this website is excellent. She does an extremely good job. At least what I saw so far. Between January 11th and 31st, Mercury transits Capricorn. In other words, Mercury's going through Capricorn. This will be an extremely productive and resourceful time for your career and other practical aspects in your life. This will be a range of several weeks where you address your goals and tasks at hand head on, and the core principles that guide you become reinforced. They said this transit between January 11th and January 31st, Mercury transits Capricorn, is one of the best times of the year for your work life and with serious projects that you are working on, so take advantage of it. Because that word serious just keeps popping up. Now on January 16th, now the new moon is in Capricorn, and that's my moon sign. So we have a full moon going in Cancer, my true north node, and now we have a new moon going in Capricorn, my moon sign. So it's going to definitely be new things, and that's what all those card readers were saying too. January 16th to 17th, that'll be your new moon in Capricorn. She said, once again, we're talking about your career and related projects. It is a time of opportunity, and this could be a crossword moment for you in terms of work. If you keep your eyes open for the possibilities, this new moon could offer an opportunity to launch your career into a whole new trajectory. Trajectory. T-A-J-E-C-T-O-R-Y. Venus transits Aquarius from January 17th to February 20th. And of course, this again is with your career area. This is an interesting time as not only you are motivated in regards to your professional life, but you are also becoming quite the innovative and seeking new possibilities to help guide your career. Because according to her natal chart, she's going to do real good in her career. She just has to be careful of Lilith retrograde, and I believe she has some other stuff to worry about over there too. And that Uranus retrograde, and even Pluto's close, because they'll wreck shop. Pluto likes to take things away from you quickly, and Uranus just comes up suddenly. Some stuff pops up and changes everything suddenly. And Uranus retrograde also likes to have it's a rebel. It likes to fight authority and stuff. So you have to be very careful because it could mess up your career. And Lilith definitely causes. Lilith is scandalous and gets caught on purpose. Like Lilith will set you up and bust you on purpose. So you have to really be careful, because right now the universe will be looking at your career from now throughout February. See, she even said it. Now listen to this. A new income possibly could be presented as well. Because that's what I see. But I always saw it. That's why I was trying to tell her. See, I'm the guy you want to come to. Like, I call her my little sister. You understand? I got nothing but love for people. I want to see you succeed. To call me a bad guy, because I'm being honest, it's just, you got to have something wicked on you. To run off my channel because I tell the truth, it's something wrong with you. Because at some point, you can't run from the truth. That's all. My sister's married 15 years because she listened to me. That's the bottom line. You got to learn when to stand up like an adult. You got to stop the little girl behavior and stand up like an adult. Especially if you want a real man, you have to be a real woman. How you going to be, you want a real man, but he's trying to talk to you and you keep acting like a little kid? Especially if the guy's been through a dysfunctional family, bad relationships with females. Now he's trying to talk to you and you're starting off. You're starting off from the gate with all this crazy stuff. Immature stuff. Now you're getting mean and indignant. Well, he should be more of a man. I need a strong man to deal with me. No. He may already be a man, which is why he's not going to deal with you while you're acting like that. Holler back in 3 years when you grow up. I don't have to deal with this silly stuff. Like, he's got to have some self-esteem too. I know, because like my family was really, really rough on me growing up. And then my older sister had got this boyfriend. So they thought they were going to talk trash about him. And it was kind of funny though. So they were trying to talk trash about him. And I said, that's not how you talk about people. I said, I understand how you feel, but it's kind of rude for you to talk about. And they stopped doing it. And I said, wow, they stopped doing it for him, but they never stopped doing it for me. Like, it was funny. But they actually stopped talking really bad because they, You may feel a certain way about a person, but you don't have to keep making a person feel like garbage. I mean, that shit ain't cool. And if you're a parent and you don't like who your daughter is dating or whatever, vice whoever, you can stay how you feel, but then, you know, be respectful. Because that's why I said sometimes parents have to be put in check. Because I'm the type, once I became, which I am a grown adult, you're not gonna be all up in my life like, you know, I'm not a little kid. Regardless. Now, I got a good relationship with my Dukes, but even then, you can't be all up in my life. I'm still a grown adult. But I got respect for her because I understand metaphysics. And when you understand metaphysics, the mother is the most important thing. Because without a mother, there can be no birth. So I deal with metaphysics. I don't deal with silly stuff where you get ego and pride and then you leave because you want to be so independent and you don't check in, and next thing you know your mother's dead because nobody was checking in on her. But that's what comes with pride and all this other crazy stuff. But that's third dimensional. But let's get back to the reading. So Venus transits Aquarius from January 17th to February 20th. And this is, of course, the career area. All right, so we read that. And also the possibly new income. Possibly. So that's what I was saying. So when I first did her natal chart, that's what I saw. Because it took her a while before she got it. But I was like, you know, you're going to do really good career-wise. You just got to watch Candle. But she might even have people subordinates under her. So that's good. And that looks great on her resume. So that's what you want to focus on. Because that's really your future. Because no matter who you get with, people come and go. That's just a fact of life. I don't care if it's a twin flame, somebody you met. People come and go, but you never compromise your career. You never compromise your finances. And I'm telling people now, you don't have to, a person doesn't have to know all your financial information. Because you don't know what y'all could get in an argument. They could do. You got to be careful. I mean, you could decide where you want to help out and where you're not going to help out. And plus, if you're a woman and you're dealing with a man, he should have his own job. That's not your response. See, a lot of women think, oh, I'm going to support my man and blah, blah, blah. Not if he's a bum. Why is he getting your money? Like, see, if you're selfish in those areas, I agree with you 100%. Because why is he getting your money? Let him go sweep. Find a way to make some money. Like, if I was a woman, you ain't coming nowhere near me. If you ain't got no job and stuff like that. You got to have something. Because I'm not going to be paying your bills and paying for everything. And you damn sure ain't going to know none of my information. You could be my husband. I'm still going to say, okay, you have your account, I have mine. And if you want to open up a different account where we put both our money in it, we could do that. But no way, shape, or form am I giving you information. Because, you understand, he may take something. Same way if you're a man. She might want that fur coat. We can't afford it, but she wants it anyway. And you thought you had money. When you go pay that bill, that check bounces. And then they're looking for your ass for signing a bounced check. But you should have never gave her that thing. You should never gave her the numbers. That's why I said everybody talking about love and sex. You got to be more mature. Let's sit down and talk. Let's have an understanding. And women have to become better communicators. Because a lot of times you don't talk, but then you're sneaky. You don't talk, but then you go do your own thing behind your back. I'm saying you try to stop that. Get to the point where he can trust you. Because that's very important to a man that he has that trust. Because he'll get past the fact that you say, no, I don't want to do it that way. He may not like it. But if you got to hold your ground sometime. I mean, learn how to, like, that's when if you're going to be manipulative, that's when you're manipulative. You know what I'm saying? He's mad at you because you won't give him your credit, whatever. But you gave him some great sex. So now he's not as mad. You got to learn how to, that's how you be manipulative. And that way you keep your financial power, and he just got to get used to it. You're not going to do it. But then he doesn't feel like, oh, you don't love me. Because men are just like women. Like, they got emotions. Nobody ever wants to deal with it. See, I'm honest about my shit. But men, they don't like, they hate to feel unwanted. Or they feel like, oh, why won't she trust me and all that shit. I do trust you. I do want to be with you. But in this area, I'm not going to do that. And that's how you're a strong woman. You got a good guy. He knows that you ain't no pushovers, which means less chances of him playing you out. Because look at like poor Selena. Selena, the famous singer. She had an affair with a person, and she trusted that person with everything. And that not only did that person rob everything from her, that person manipulated her, and then that person killed her, shot her to death. Okay, so that's Scorpio. That's the 8th house. That's Scorpio energy. Power struggles, lies, manipulations. So you got to realize where you're really at. That's why you do astrology. That's why you come to a person like me, because I'm going to tell you the truth and get you ready for that. Because then you'll understand what love really is in third dimension. It could still be loving, but you're not risking yourself. You're not giving somebody your all, and then they cheat on you or kill you. Because I just did a natal chart where it was obviously this dude was going to kill her. And she knew it. I didn't even think she was going to believe me. But I started showing her the facts. And you see what I do. Just like I'm on somebody else's channel, right? I'm on somebody else's website right now. I get second opinions. I get third opinions. I know what I'm doing. And even they were saying, you know, be careful, be careful. So the female made her own, based on the information she was given, she made her own decision. So they're saying between January 17th to February 20th. And that's around, like I said, around a new moon. She says a new income possibility could be presented as well. But she said a side effect of all of this is a possibility of an office romance. As the creative fires you will be giving off will surely attract the attention of those around you. But again, you have to be strong, because I've been warning you about that for a while since I saw your natal chart. Nothing wrong with an office romance, but you don't want to be romancing in the office, because that's the Lilith retrograde scandal in the 10th house. So again, there's a time and place for everything. Mars in Sagittarius, starting on January 26th, Mars enters Sagittarius and will transit that until March 17th. Now I want to look at this chart real quick. Wow. That's a little strange. She said on March, what was January? She said January 26th. So within 5, well, some people say some planets only stay 2 hours in a house. But I don't know. Because that you're telling me Mars jumped all the way from Sagittarius all the way to Aries, way over, in just like less than 4 days? That's interesting. But either way, I'm going to read it. Starting January 26th, Mars enters Sagittarius and will transit that until March 17th. You will be emboldened in your very strongly held set of morals and belief systems. Because I already told you about all this priest energy. Priest energy versus the career energy. Because career says kara. Career. Get your ka, your soul, and your spirit, and get in the rear. Like Jesus says. Now Jesus is the priest, the high priestess. Jesus says, get behind me, Satan. Satan, you get in the rear. God comes first. Spirit comes first. But Satan says, no, ka, no soul, no spirit, you get in the rear. So that might be a battle you have, and then you do got a lot of stuff going on with the family as well this month. So your moral beliefs and belief system may be tested during this time, just like I said. But he's saying particularly January 26th to March 17th, but I'm telling you all of January, be on alert. He said you are a bull-headed Taurus, and this means that you are firm in your beliefs, but not so much that you are not open to hearing opposing points of view. But during this time, your beliefs become something you find yourself thinking a lot about, and we already told you why. You get a little glimpse of what truly is important to you, and could be making some changes in your life to accommodate that. That's interesting. Mercury joins Mars in Sagittarius on January 31st. Now let me see where Mercury's at. See now Mercury, according to my chart, Mercury is closer to Sagittarius. But it's in Capricorn. And there is also a lunar eclipse in Leo on that day. And Leo is your true north node. Mercury will be traveling around Mars until February 18th. And you should become loosened up a bit and you are more open to ideas and concepts that you might normally shrug off. This is a refreshing change of pace for a Taurus, but it won't last too long. The lunar eclipse in Leo, this is a day where there might be some drama in your home life. So be careful, January 31st, lunar eclipse in Leo. Take the time to prepare for the eclipse and keep your senses as not to inflict stress on others. And that's what I said when I first started your reading. And to be one that can put out little fires in the home. So they're telling you to be the one that'll put out little fires on your home. Now she talks, because she calls herself lunar princess, and she actually talks about what the sun and the moon. So when you get to her channel, you may want to look at all the tabs and look around and stuff. All right. So that's like doing that. Yeah, she has a section where she says topics. So if you go to her About tab, it says topics. Just go there. But like I said, you got to look around. When you look around, because I'm pretty sure she talks about the sun and the moon. Because I saw it the first time I was here. I just can't find it right now. All right. In 2 minutes, it'll be 6 p.m. Sunday, December 31st, 2017. So that will do it with this reading. Now we have the card reading. Right now, nobody's here. And because one person came and left, I don't think they're coming back because they have a dance they're going to tonight to bring the new year in. So even if they do come back, it may not be that fast. So I had changed everything around just to make more room for them. So that's why I couldn't do the readings. But since they're not here anyway, I'll probably do the readings tonight. Because I know starting next week, it might get a little busy. So I'm trying to get done as much as I can do. So I'm going to stop this. And now, what I may do, and I'll explain this again, because I have 2 readings to do, 5 questions each. I may make that into one video. But in the intro, in the beginning, I'll tell you what time. If you get to, I'll tell you what time the particular readings are. So you'll know how to just go right to your time on YouTube. Just put the time right on it, and you'll see hear your reading. All right. All right. So now, again, anything that's intuitive, I do. Anything with numerology, anything that has to do with the 8th house, I tend to do. I also do research. I also do phone consultations. I usually have sales going on. All that is either on my channel. There's information in the description box. And if you want the whole services offered, priceless, you can contact me through the email. Again, there are people that like to get started right away. The information to do so, the email is right there. Because as soon as I get confirmation, I can definitely give you completion time, completion date. But for your natal chart, you need month, day, year, and write it out, please, because Europe and America do it differently, and even some people might do it differently, because once it's started, we can't stop it. Like, that's an order. So you have to make so don't go to 11/74, because I might go February 11/74, and you'll go, hey, no, I'm at November 2nd 74. I live in Europe. You understand? So just put November 2nd 1974. Just write it out. You got to choose male or female. That's the system. You have to choose either male or female. Now, there might be somebody I don't want to choose. Well, I have to, because you have to click one or the other. I don't think it'll let me do it. I would try it, but I don't think it's going to let me do it if you don't pick one or the other. City, state, and country, if not the USA. And time of birth, you could have it. You could ask someone. You could estimate it. Someone who was there when you were born might know. Or you can give it to the Archangels, because they do a great job as well. But again, what everybody has to know is once it's done, it's done. Because I've had people that did that. Oh, I found out my time. All right, well, that's a new order. Because, I made sure you knew that I have to know that in advance. I did a whole chart. You guys see how long it takes me to do these charts. So don't come out of nowhere talking about you found it. That's why, so we don't have time for that. So and under no circumstance would that be considered appropriate. And if that's that. Now, if you want the full life purpose report, you would need your full name, because they're going to go by your full name and your full birth date. That's for your full life purpose report, and that usually includes numerology as well. It depends. If I do it for the natal chart, it may include numerology. If I do it from the other website, it'll include numerology. So that depends as well. All right. So that concludes this video. Thank you for offering that video, because that was very enlightening to me. You and another person requested it, and she was a Leo, so that was enlightening to me as well. So we got a lot going on for January, which really starts in less than 6 hours, 11 hours and 57 minutes. You'll be into January 2018. So you're starting off the new year right by getting this information, but make it a goal to really stay with this, because you just saw this person may actually have love coming. They may actually be getting a promotion, a career coming, a better, more career. That's why they want to take this seriously. And believe me, it is serious, but you just have to be ready for it. One day, Michelle Knight told me, if you go out tomorrow, you'll find love if you're ready for it. And I said, well, I'm not going nowhere, so I know I ain't finding love. All I'm going to the store, that's early in the morning. You ain't going to find no love out there at 6 o'clock in the morning. So as I was going to the door, sure enough, Michelle was coming up. Now, me and Michelle go way back to 2009, where we almost really did hook up. And then she was there. So this stuff is real. Somebody told me I was going to get in an accident. I didn't pay no attention. Next thing I knew, I was in a car accident. So this stuff is real. You don't want to sleep on it. And use it to your advantage. We have to stop thinking, oh, I can't find love. Yes, you can. You got to stop. You're not finding it because you're believing that garbage. Now, it might not be with your twin. It may be with your twin. You have to understand. You got to love yourself first. Because what happens, we're looking for somebody to love us. That's where you're making your mistake. The universe is giving you a good job. The universe is showing you what you need to work on. And the universe is really blessing you. But you're going, oh, I don't have anybody in my life. So you're down talking what the universe is trying to do. You got to really realize it. And therefore, when that office temptation comes, you know not to mess your job up. Or therefore, when you meet that guy and he's trying to make you think, well, I should have your account. I should have all of that. No, he shouldn't. And he never should. Now, if you got your own money, I got my own money. And if you want to open up one account, we put our money in like that a little bit. That's cool. But never, no way, and you're going to have that information or something. That's something somebody gets when they've proven trust and all that stuff. So you're learning things for life. And you'll have a better life by following what the universe is telling you. This is Gat. It's been a pleasure. God bless.